Tamara's Lunchbox, Tuesday edition. 3 more to go. It's not been that bad today. It's not been bad at all. Has yours? Has yours been good? Mine's not been too bad. It's just a day. It's just a day. So I have a sausage biscuit. Yum. It's gonna be hot. So, oh, it's not too bad. Okay, I can hold it. Yum, yum, yum. It's a little hot. It's a little hot. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add my mustard to it. I get it back open. There we go. I put it in that. I would have never thought that biscuit fit in that bowl, but I went to warm it up and I was like, oh no, I don't have anything to warm it up on. So I just stuck it on top of that bowl with my sausage, and it went right down in that right down in it. So my mustard's making a mess. Okay, I don't have anywhere to put this. Put it there. Then I have some Fritos that I've already been eating on, so I may not eat too many of them right now because I've already ate some. Let's see, and we're going to pick a ghost today. So what are you having? Just in case. That sounds good. I like it. Hot. I got it warm enough. Ooh. The biscuit had cooled off where I could hold it, but that sausage was still a little hot. So our 5K shirts are supposed to deliver today. So between 2:15 and 5:15, I think is what it said, something like that. So I was like, okay. Whenever our mail runs, it's coming that method. And so I plan to do a reveal if Brian's comes. They're talking about it being in 2 separate packages. So I need to ask him what his says, because they emailed him separate. So I'll have to ask him when his show's to be delivered. And as long as both of them come, then we'll do a reveal. If not, then I guess we'll wait. I'm hoping they both come today. I don't understand their logic in sending them separate. I don't understand that. Because they were ordered at the same time on the same entry. I don't know how you want to call that. So I don't understand why it would be in 2 separate packages. Because you would think they would mail them to wherever the address I put in. I didn't put his name in. Or I did, but I didn't give an address for him. So anyway, we'll see, because I have seen it multiple times about packages arriving separate. If you have multiple in your group. So I don't know. Anyway. But I'm excited. And I'm also excited. It's been a few years. But here's a fun fact about me that I've probably never mentioned on here. I don't think I've ever mentioned it. I like to crochet. And I'll pick it up every now and then, crochet something, and then I'm over it. It's not something I stay on. My sausage fell out. I don't really make anything. Besides blankets. When I moved into my apartment years ago, as I was going through boxes, I come across all my crochet stuff. So I decided then, I made toboggans, scarves for the kids. I let them pick out their own yarn. Yeah. They never wanted to pick it up. Now, I picked up crocheting from my grandma, my mom's mom. She always crocheted. And she would make little doilies, blankets. Her biggest thing was doilies, though. And she used this little bitty, I don't even know if it was yarn. I don't even know if you'd call that yarn. Whatever it's called. It's itty bitty. And her stitches were very delicate. Very, I mean, it's a doily, you know, so it became round, and, but it was the yarn or whatever she used, it was just very, very tiny. And like I said, I don't even know what stitch she used. It basically would, it would make almost like a spider web, if you think about it like that. Because it started round and then it just fanned out. But I don't remember the stitch she used. I never made doilies or anything. I made, like I said, I made blankets, and when I got older, I made toboggans, and I made the kids a scarf. And so, like I said, I'll pick it up, and then next thing you know, I'll put it back down. But she's who taught me how to crochet. And I've always liked the multicolored yarn. I'm not big on having to change my color. Because I was never really good at it. Now, since YouTube has come along, I have gotten better. Because I just, I guess because I would pick it up and put it back down. I wouldn't stay consistent. So there's some things that I just never got good at, because I wouldn't stick with it. Well, but so a couple years ago, I come across one that they did a temperature blanket. And a temperature blanket can be very pretty, very pretty. And I was like, that would be neat to do. But I never done it. But since I come across a woman on TikTok that made the chunky blankets, and there you do not use any kind of needle. You use your hands. And I was like, that would be, oh, I would like to make that. Well, that spiraled into coming back across the temperature blankets. Well, then I come across, because, well, let me explain the temperature blanket. a temperature blanket is a different color. Well, okay. In a normal crochet blanket, you have lines, okay? And every line is a different day. So by the time you get done through a year, you would have 365 lines, hopefully of different colors. But we know how that goes. You're going to have days days out of a month that the temperature's the same. So, but you make a temperature range, and that of course is from, if you live in climates that are -0 to above 100, but you pick a range and your colors change for the range. The more ranges you have, the more colors you have. So I thought, my mind starts going, right? And I thought, this is really neat. I really like this. And now it's gotten to where yarn is more available, more colors, more textures, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I thought, this might be something I want to do. Well, here's my next problem. I thought to myself, I said, self? I thought I could get through that without laughing. Self? Are you really going to stick to this? That's the first thing. We all know how I can be. But it's every day. You do a row every day, and that's it, of whatever the temperature is. Well, then that led me down to a path of different crochet patterns, stitches, techniques, whatever you want to call it. Then I thought, instead of doing a row, because I think what's going to happen with that, I can see this happening, I'm going to make probably 15 rows if I give it that long. We'll say 15. We'll go with 15. This is going to become too big for me. Because you got to think, this is going to be, you have to go your width, because your height is going to come from 365 rows. So your width is going to come from however many stitches you do in that first chain. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I can see this becoming very big. And you know, Brian told me he had never heard of this when I told him this last night, but he has, because now that I'm talking about it, when I told him how you do it, he told me that's going to get awfully hot in the summertime. So yes, sir, Brian, I have told you about this before. I just never went with it. Anyway, so I can see that happening. Yeah, you're going to be crocheting under a blanket that is, it's going to get big. So I don't think I'm going to do it that way. But then I thought, there's a stitch called a granny stitch, or granny square. And they also call it a granny, what was it? It wasn't, was it stitch? I don't know. Anyway, but that would still go flat. A granny square is just a square, and you make a bunch of squares. But 365 squares? Yeah. So then I come across the girl that, and I cannot find a video of where she finished it, but she did it in 2021. But she did a square for each month. This sounds more feasible to me, because the square for January would have 31 rows. Now, what would happen is February has 28 days, unless you're in leap year, but next year's not a leap year. but that would only have 28 rows. So you'd have to accommodate for that and make sure all of them are 31, because some months are 30 and 31 and all that. So you would have to accommodate for that. But those turned out very pretty. Very pretty. And it's just a square. It ends up being a square by the time the days are, the month's done. So I'm thinking about doing that. I think that would be pretty. And then you would end up with a however big the squares ended up, you would end up with that size blanket. But then that doesn't sound like it would end up being big enough. So I don't know. I may have to end up making all of them, even though it's only 31 days, I may end up having to make all of them like 35. All of them, you know, something like that, to kind of make them even, and then you would still have your rows in there for each one. But anyway, but then some of them are doing, it's a temperature, but some go by just the high for the day, some go by just the low of the day, some do the average. And then I got to thinking, if I do a granny square, I could do the low in the middle, and then the high would be the outside, the last row. And then the middle would be the average, and then it would be the 3 colors for each day. But I think that's going to end up being too big. 365, if you think of each square, that's going to be too big. I think, maybe. I have some thinking to do, because Brian told me you need to wait till January. I think he's betting that I'm either going to talk myself out of it, I'm going to be over it, or if I really do start this in January, I will be so prepared and so thought through everything that I'll actually get it done. But I think it would be neat. I really do. I really just need to figure out how I want to do this, because I am very scared of a 365 row blanket. I'm very scared of that because I don't have anywhere to put that. And I think because I don't crochet enough, which by the time I do one of a temperature blanket, I will have crocheted enough that I can hold that kind of. But if it's going to be a blanket, it needs to be big enough it actually wraps around, not lay on you like this. So I have some thinking to do, but I am working on the idea. I really like it. I think it would be neat. And this is what I do. Every couple years, I pick up my crochet stuff. And I just go back to crocheting. And then, like I said, I make whatever I'm going to make. Now, I do finish my projects. I do finish them. And then I put it back down. But hey, maybe this is the project that will get me started. And this is what I do. I become a crocheter. Once again. I can see it. Can't y'all see it? I can see it. All right. I'm going to let y'all go. It's been 20 minutes of me rambling. So, but let me know in the comments. You ever made a blanket? Do you even crochet? Because I don't think I would be making videos of that, because I'm not an expert by any means. But hey, maybe it would lead into something. You never know. We have to try this. We're going to try this. I'm going to get myself all prepared. All right, y'all have a good rest of your Tuesday. And hopefully my stuff will deliver tonight and I can make the video tonight and we will add it in for tomorrow. But until then, hope you have a good rest of your day, and I plan to see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining, thanks for being here, and for watching the videos. And I guess I'll see you next time. So may the peace of the Lord be with you until I see you again, and take care. And I'll see you next time. Y'all have a good one. Bye.